Okay, welcome to day 2 of the Super G tight sew along. If you are doing the no side seam version, you're going to start here and you're just going to have a really simple day. The side seam version constructed their pockets today and sewed the center front crotch seam. And the no side seam version is just going to sew that center front crotch seam because that's going to prepare us for attaching the gusset, which is what we're going to do tomorrow. Please excuse my wrinkled fabric. It needs a little tumble through the dryer, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and serge this. Remember, you're using a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And then this is a spot where if you want to, you can go ahead and top stitch it. And I'm going to do a reverse cover stitch on a machine. And I'll include a video on how I do that reverse cover stitch in this section. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and serge that, and then I'm going to do the reverse cover stitch on top of it, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like. And then it's really simple. This is a really short day. So if you feel like you want to jump ahead and keep going and go ahead and attach the gusset, then you can watch tomorrow's video ahead of time. All right, so I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I thought this might be another good spot to show you how I do my reverse cover stitch. So I have all 3 needles in my cover stitch machine, and I'm using 4 threads, 3 for the needles and 1 for the loopers. You can see that I have a thread spool back here. I don't have enough serger threads in the same color to run my serger and my cover stitch at the same time, so sometimes I'll wind up a bobbin with my sewing machine and use that instead. So to get started, I've folded a piece of fabric here, and I've just kind of started sewing onto it. This is called chaining, and I'll show you why I do this. If I were going to just stick my fabric right under the cover stitch machine, I might have difficulty starting it right at that edge. But if I chain onto it, so that means sewing right up to the edge, lifting up my presser foot, sneaking my fabric on there, and my pants are wrong side up, so I've sewn that front crotch seam, and now it's wrong side up, and I'm pressing the seam allowance toward the left. And then I can just start sewing and it'll get right up to that edge. When I get to the end, I'll lift up my needles, lift up my presser foot, and I'm going to sweep those threads toward the front. One just snapped, but that's okay. I'm going to clip the ones that didn't, and then pull my fabric out the back and clip there. That will tie off your threads. It's not totally necessary on this pair because we're just going to go ahead and stitch on top of both sides. But you can see I finished my reverse cover stitch on the front of the pants there. And then I'll repeat that process as I go along with the gusset, and I'll let you know when I'm going to be repeating that. But I think it provides a nice look. It also lends a little bit of extra strength to that seam so that it's not tempted to split open. I've never had a pair of pants split open while I was working out in them, but I never want to. So this is my reverse cover stitch. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if this is something that you already do or would like to try. I'd love to hear from you about it. So I'm going to move on, bring it back to the cutting table and kind of talk about what we're going to do tomorrow. Okay, so now that you've seen how I do my reverse cover stitch on that center front seam, that's really all you have to do for today. If you're doing the no side seam version, you don't need to construct any pockets. I am going, though, to be doing my zippered waistband pocket hack on this pair of leggings because I need to have a pocket somewhere. So if I'm eliminating it on the side seams, I'm going to hack it into the waistband, and I'll have a link to this tutorial. It's already on my blog, but I'll link it again in tomorrow's post. But you might just want to take a look at that if that's something you're interested in trying out, and just make sure you have the right length of zipper on hand. I am using, in this case, I used a longer zipper and cut it short, but it's ended up being about 8¼ inches long. So I think if you had like a 10-inch zipper, that would be enough to give yourself a little bit of extra room there. So that's it for today for the no side seam version. Tomorrow we're going to continue on and attach our gussets. And that will be the same for both views. So regardless of which view you're sewing, you'll pick up tomorrow and I'll show you how to attach the gusset into your leggings and sew the back crotch seams. So I'll see you back here tomorrow. Make sure to comment with your progress so that we can all kind of encourage each other along. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know about that. Thanks for watching.